Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another movie review. As you well know, my old microphone was broken, so I had to get a new one, and I have this one right here. It's a Logitech, and they have the best products available in anything for computer accessories, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, getting to the point, a couple weeks ago, I saw J.Edgar, which is the biopic about J. Edgar Hoover, who formulated the FBI, and he developed a lot of. I'm sorry, I got a scratch in my throat. A lot of innovative crime busting methods and investigatory techniques that had not been used before, and all of his ideas were groundbreaking and cutting edge. And of course, there was one thing that he said in the movie that really made a lot of sense to me. He said, innovators are often shunned for their works, and this is often true. It really is, because a lot of people look at innovators and nonconformists, and I think he was a nonconformist, as those to be avoided and to be leery of, and they're sort of looked at as outcasts, and it's just a very intriguing look into his life and just how multi-layered and complicated this man truly was. And it's also very tragic as well, because his mother was overbearing and just so exacting and precise, and he would do anything to please her, and she was his entire world. And at one point in time, in the very beginning of the story, they have a flashback with younger John, but he was never called John by his mother. She always called him Edgar, which is his middle name. And she says, Edgar, you're the one who will bring redemption to this family. You will restore our good name. And I don't know what it was about that, but it just chilled me. It really disturbed me. And I thought, what kind of parent says that to their own child, puts that much expectation on them? But anyway, John, though he meant well and had a lot of good intentions, he became power hungry, and I think that he became drunk with ambition and power, and he wanted actually he was in control. He had so much authority. All this authority was probably a lot for him to bear. I think that would be a huge onus on anybody. I'm not really sure what I. Sorry, I don't know. I can't really talk very well today, but I don't really know what else to say about this movie, other than it depressed me and it disturbed me as well, because it was just a very stark look at our government, and as being somebody who is from the States, it just gave me a whole new insight on why our government is as mucked up as it is. I really can't say too much else about the movie, other than I think the way that Clint Eastwood directed it was absolutely phenomenal, and it was just pure genius. It really reminded me of film noir in the way that he used dark and light, and there was a shot that he had with John looking at himself in the mirror, and then you could see kind of a divided reflection of himself, and I thought, oh, that's intriguing, and that just revealed in a pictorial sense the kind of duality that he had. The one person that kept him grounded was his partner, Mr. Tolson. Mr. Tolson, he really did love John, and just the chemistry and the dynamic that these two had was extraordinary, truly extraordinary. And as far as films go, this is different than anything that I had ever seen. There are a lot of present day moments, and then they go back to a flashback, and you just see what kind of person he was, and then you get to see a lot of things that might make you question a lot of what is happening in our government, and just it was a very timely piece, and I don't think a lot of people really appreciate it for what it's worth, but it probably gave people pause, if anything, because I know it did me. Uh, I give it 5 stars and two thumbs way up. If you want to see Leonardo DiCaprio in makeup to make him look older, and they actually really do a tremendous job with this, because he really does look like an old man, and the way he walks and how he moves, it depicts an elderly man, and all of his uh, quips and eccentricities, and it's just so very interesting. And I probably would have to watch the movie a second time, because there was a lot to be taken in. And maybe there was even more that I didn't even see, but it's just the way that it was done was just riveting, and I was transfixed the whole time. So if you're a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, I would certainly recommend this movie, because he deserves an Oscar for this role, hands down, no question. Um, Everything else is depicted accurately. The history is correct, and just the fact that John took a lot of credit where credit was not due, and he had a lot of a lot of files that were his personal copies that were confidential, and I think that he got in a little bit too deep with the whole espionage angle. And he had a really fantastic plan to begin with, but I don't think he realized how far this was going to go, and breach people's First Amendment rights. But no, I'm not really going to go into that now, because that just opens a whole can of worms, and the ethics involved are just vast. I mean, truly enormous, and just thinking about it would make your head hurt. But other than that, I think that J.Edgar is a very noteworthy film. I know it didn't get very good marks, and it had mixed reviews, and it's not Gran Torino, but I still think it is a masterpiece in its own right, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I just think that it is a disturbing, depressing, and fascinating look into a man's life who who had two people support him that loved him very dearly, yet he was a very conflicted and troubled and disturbed little man. Yeah, there was a scene with that. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a very interesting part of the movie. After something very monumental occurs within his life, and I can't give it away, or they'll give you. I will spoil the movie. I really don't want to do that. But other than that, I think that the movie is really stupendous. And if you have a chance to see it, then do it, because it is well worth your time.